alive. Yes. People believe that in PR is nothing about life. It's nothing but life. Because sometimes we use unethical approaches to PR. But PR has nothing to do with life. Because the worst sin you are going to commit in PR is to lie. That's the worst thing. But usually I look at our own setup of things, right? And I usually think of, let's look at government PR machine, right? One role of a PR person, okay, is that of receiving. Do we have to see, yeah? You have to be a public. It's just one component of PR. Okay? Where you simply share information. Okay? Now look at our setup. We have government spokesperson, people who speak on behalf of government. Who is the government spokesperson? Yes. No, I don't. Is it sure? No. Are you serious? Huh? Are you serious? This is third year for third year a journalism student doesn't know the government spokesperson. Are we real? Huh? Yes. Yes. Now I'll go see what I'll do now. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to a different and perhaps final definition. This definition was agreed upon by public relations associations at a World Assembly in Mexico in 1978. So it was an assembly of national PR association. We also have a national PR association in Malawi, you know that? Okay, we have one. So all these associations convened in Mexico in 1978 and agreed to come up with one definition. Alright? So the definition they agreed was that public relations in fact, this is the definition that they agreed. Yes. Public relations is the art and science of analyzing trends, predicting their consequences, counseling organization leaders, and implementing planned programs of action which will serve both the organization and the public interest. That's the definition that PR Association met in Mexico at the World Assembly and agreed that must be the official definition. So I also say about the word art and science, and here they are saying that these are very helpful in explaining the continuing tension between understanding PRR as a measurable, science-based, rather science-based application of communication rules, and the affection of many practitioners for the looser, more creative aspect of the work. Here is kind of they're giving like how different countries perceive this approach differently. For example, they are giving an example of the USA, where they are saying that in the USA, the social science element dominates the understanding of PR. So, in as far as Americans are concerned, PR is more of a science, right? And they say this is reflected in their educational system and text about the subject. It's more scientific than art, right? Whereas in the UK, it is said that there has been a very big tension between those who see public relations as a management function and those who view it as primarily in relation to the media, right? Now, earlier on, I said about the new trends that have come about and are resisting to the use of the word management function. So, there was a campaign Okay, they are saying in 2011, this is now recent, right? It's about 12 years ago. It's actually 2010, 2011, 2012, right? So Public Society of America, it led an international effort to modernize now the definition of public relations. They wanted to replace the definition that was adopted in 1982 by the Public Relations Society of America, National Assembly, under the Public Relations definition banner. So there was a campaign to ensure that no, I think things have changed. Let's now come up with a new definition. So this institution, PRSA, Public Relations Society of America, initiated a crowdsourcing campaign and public vote. People had to vote. That produced a new definition now. And the new definition says, and I quote, public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationships between organizations and their publics. Public relations is a strategic communication process. I'll break down. It's a strategic communication process. So PR is nothing but communication. So it's a strategic communication process. Perhaps that's the reason why in PR mostly preference is given to communicators. People who have studied journalism, people who have studied communication communication, right? Because it's a strategic communication process. What does it do? It builds mutual or mutually beneficial relationships. Mutually, right? As equal, as partners, right? Between the organization and their public, and their many publics, right? Okay, so let's break down that. This is simple and straightforward, and you see that the definition focuses on the basic concept of PR, which is a communication process, right? It is a communication process indeed, but it is one that is strategic in nature, and it is emphasizing on the mutual kind of relationship, mutual beneficial relationship, right? We are also calling it a process. It's a communication process. I said earlier on that the process is more preferable to the management function. You remember I said now the new one doesn't approve of PR as a management function, but rather a process. So a process is preferred because management function invokes idea of control, right? And top-down or one-way communication. Yet this must be a mutual kind of beneficial setup. The term relationship, we are saying building mutually beneficial relationship. So in this case, when you talk of relationship, the term relates to public relations and nothing else. It refers to the public relations role in helping to bring together organizations and individuals with their stakeholders, key stakeholders. And the definition has also used the term public, right? Public are not stakeholders, right? What's the difference between the two?
Public is a machine. So, okay, public is just the general, the people. All the stakeholders are individuals that part and parcel in contributing.
Give an example. Sometimes the best way to define something or to explain is to give an example.
Okay, the public example, just you and I can be an example.
No, that's not enough. You know, in PR, we are making comparison between individual and institution, organization, individual, and public. Stakeholder. Now, what I'm saying, you can give an example that if you say you and I, you say public or stakeholders? Public, alright? What or who are the organization and individuals here for us to be public? Because if you say you and me, you say public, can I not be a stakeholder? Yes. So give an example, for example, with the institution like this one. You and me, are we stakeholders or the public? To University of York.
Okay.
Why?
Because we fall under, okay, the stakeholders can fall under management, and the public can fall under just the general people.
Okay. I'll give you an assignment on that. Find out the difference between the two. Okay? However, in this book they are saying public is preferable to stakeholder as the former, which is public, relates to the very public nature of public relation. Whereas stakeholder has connotation of publicly traded companies. Right? In other words, we could be both. Okay? However, the term stakeholder connotes that I have got a stake, right? I've got an investment, and I'm going to get dividends. It has that connotation, right? That's why we prefer to use the term public, because even stakeholders can be bundled as a public in this context, so that when we are communicating, we treat them as a public. In PR, it's the strategic communication. It's the use of the message and the channel. You should be able to say, okay, what is my public? Now, depending on the public, you determine the channel and the message. Isn't it? If you are communicating, for example, with the kind of yes, just one example. What media am I going to use? Radio. Excuse me. But even radios, there are many radios. Specifically, what radio stations are you going to use?
Community radio.
Fine. What else? Okay, why do you use radios?
Because it most engages farmers. So farmers are most fine in.
Okay. Now you have bundled farmers together. But where you are home, where now there's the scientific parties. Your name? Yes, babe. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Not to my knowledge, because of course the article was coordinating everything. Yeah, do you have his number? Yes, I'm the one, and I said I'll be there after 10. Then about a year, or maybe let me ask you know, or who are you with? The oral office one. Yeah. No, after the car, they know my eye. Yes. Much Maguira about attending and coordinating, it's not one and the same. Yes, it was on the ground calling managing or coordinating. So they should know better. And then if you understand what I think that it is rapid and moderate and the right. Yes. Okay.
Right, sorry for that one.
Oh, okay. Where was that?
The stakeholders group.
Yeah. So, stakeholders, public, it is preferred to use the term public and not stakeholders. Okay? But although the new definition talks about PR as a strategic communication process, I say this at the back of our head. We still know that PR is management function, right? And as management function, it has got specific roles and tasks. For example, we are talking of the anticipation, analyzing and interpreting public opinion, right? Attitudes, as well as issues which might impact for or bad the plans and operation of the organization. All these things are management functions. That's where now PR becomes the management function. Another role of counseling management at all levels. This is a management function. Researching, right? Conducting an evaluating on a continual basis. This is the management function. The actual planning and implementing the organization's efforts to influence or change public policy. That is a management function, right? So much as we say it's a strategic communication process, but there are also functions pertaining to management. Okay? Okay, I've got three terms here. Advertising, publicity, and PR. What's the difference or what's the relationship between among the three?
The relationship, both of them require communication.
Okay, just give me
2 minutes.
Yes. What is advertising? Is advertising PR? Is PR advertising? Is the advertising publicity? Is PR publicity? Yes?
Advertising is persuading the public to be the consumers of the product or to buy a product. It's persuading or just an awareness of a product to the public.
Okay?
Publicity is sharing information.
Okay?
Or PR kind of what way the advertising and publicity.
Yeah, as you were saying, marveling on the definition, it's okay because the lines between publicity and the advertising are so blurred, right? There's a thin line between publicity and advertising, right? So, yes, people tend to confuse about the two, right? But when you talk of advertising, okay? When you talk about advertising, you talk of time and space. Okay. What I mean is, PR is paid for.
Yeah.
And rather not PR, advertisement. Right? Publicity is free. Okay? Now, that's it. But then, the time and space comes in because what you pay for in advertisement is time or space. This should not confuse you. Usually when time
This, you get it, right? So, every minute, whether it's Jibo, TV, radio, that time, right? You pay for that time, it becomes an advertisement. If it's print, they'll give you a space. You pay for it, it's an advertisement. That's one difference. Two, one is controlled.
Yes.
Alright. This is room 2 here. What is it?
You have said. Yeah. Fine.
Time out.
Time out of 2 minutes. Time is
That means my material.
Number 86.
What?
I don't know the time you have studied.
Hmm?
You started at 8?
I've been here to 8.
Okay.
Yes, after I was the first to be here, then Hope found me here.
Okay.
Yeah, so what you have to indicate is the time I'm here, not the time, because the student
Yeah.
comes 1 hour late, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
And I think management is aware of that.
I for it is noted. Well noted.
Yeah. I don't care when the student comes in 5 minutes, I've been here since 8, that's my time.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know that, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the other difference is what kind of information is controlled. If it's an advertisement, right? If you buy time and space, right? Nobody is going to tamper with your information. Unless there are policies within the institution that no information is your data. But other than that information is uncontrolled. You cannot control that information. While in publicity, right? In publicity, for example, if you issue a press release on something, right? If you buy time and space through an advertisement, that information is going to be broadcasted as it is. Alright? But if it has gone out as a publicity stunt where you simply explain, you just release it for media consumption, right? I think you. Right? You find that, yes, people will make mention of your institution, but the kind of story that will come out is beyond you. You cannot control it. It will come out in the newspaper different. Because that people, the writer, the reporter or the writer, is going to write his own or her own story based on the information, but not exactly. So that becomes publicity. While here, it will go as it is. They will not talk about it. That becomes advertising. Of course, there are many differences. Right? So here they're saying, strictly speaking, advertising is time or space in a medium purchased to display a message that has been prepared or approved by the buyer. The buyer is you. You are the one who has bought time and space. Right? Both content and placement. Time and place, as well as duration, are controlled by the buyer. Content, placement, time, place, as well as duration is determined or controlled by the buyer. So if this institution wants to place an advertisement in the newspaper or on radio or on TV, right? So content, right, is controlled by this university. One. Placement is controlled by this. By placement, we are talking of time. For example, if it's a gym, Mumasa, we need prime time, for example. If you gym has to be here before news, because that's when everybody tune into the radio. Or after, even the prices are different. Yes, becomes expensive during that time because everybody is watching TV or listening. But it's the buyer who chooses that I want my advert tire out. You can decide that I want my advert midnight, for example. And it will be cheaper. It's up to you. But during midnight, how many people are going to listen or watch? That's why in the newspaper, the front page is more expensive because it is visible to many people. Isn't it? But they are on the front page. So they will see your adverts. Right? So all these, where you place it, right? Duration, how long? Size, what's the size? In the newspaper. How long is it going to run? Is it 1 week? Is it 1 month? All these things are controlled by the buyer in advertisement because they are paying for that. Right? Publicity is information provided to a public without charge. That is publicity. There is a publicity officer. Children will pay the information, but without charge. How do you do it? You link up with a media. You eat a press release and just throw it. And media open and there is I do keep the thousand to invest or put it. Team Yawa Super League. So they will write a story without charging you. Okay? So in this case, the difference is that in publicity, it is now the supplier and not the buyer that controls. The supplier is the media house, right? They're the ones that are supplying time and space. Okay? So in publicity, because you don't pay for it, they now control the content. They will write as they please because it's purely a story. Right? However, for some matters, what if advertising is not purchased? If the supplier donates time and space, is it advertising or publicity? If the supplier is newspaper, radio station, right? If Zodiac donates time, is that advertising or publicity?
Should be publicity.
Why?
Because it is only sharing the information for free and giving the public to shape the information in whatever way they get.
Free. Do you believe in free things? If I give you this bottle of water, are you sure it's free? Huh?
No.
Yes, you could have it free, but is this water free?
Not free.
So why should it be publicity? Well, it depends on where you are and how you are living, okay? But this book says, technically, that situation is advertising. Why? Because it looks like commercial advertising and is used in the time or space reserved for advertising. Okay? That time and space is meant for advertising. So, even if I say, Abana, we are Ababa, Muzakari, Timothy Mazayumba, or in fees, you don't pay. It's your dad who pays, or your parents, or your guardian, alright? Now, because the money doesn't come from your pocket, doesn't mean it's free. Okay? Because that space was meant to be sold. Okay? That's why in scholarships, they will have conditions. Because even if I'm not paying, but somebody is paying for that place, that's why they will give you condition. If the money is your mine, I will manage. Okay? Then, they are also saying, further confusion arises over promotional letters and brochures. Are these direct sales and therefore advertising, or are they promotions? Brochures. But there are no perception about brochures. What's that? Is that advertising?
Yeah, we can say that
Why?
they try to get some awareness of the institution.
It was that definition advertising. Then another advertising now. That's another one. It's where the supplier time and space for you to pay. Okay? Okay. In any case, both publicity and advertising demand strong writing and conceptual skills, right? So,
the late Edward L. Benet said, publicity is a one-way street. This. I'm now trying about Manena, the difference between this and this. Okay? Now I want this and this now. The negative result. So first I was trying to compare this and this. Now it's this and this. Now we are saying this is one-way street. But earlier on, I kept emphasizing on that here it's about mutual, two-way. Right? So this guy, Edward Benet, says publicity is a one-way street. Public relations is a two-way street. And PR incorporates publicity, press agentry, and public information with the emphasis depending on the type of the institution. PR incorporates publicity. After you've done everything, analyzing, management, this is the position. You have a role of publicity, where you simply disseminate the information from one side, from the management point of view, to the public. That's the role of a PR person, where in other circles they are called publicists, because of their role of taking information from the institution to the general public. It's just one of the many roles of PR people. Okay? So what do we mean by a two-way street?
Public can also communicate to the management through the
Yes, definitely, very true. You cannot just communicating to the public. Two-way street means that whatever you are doing, you have the interest of the general public at heart. Here they are saying, okay, as a background, they are saying the last part of the next constituent definition, the definition of PR speaks of serving both the organizations and the public interest. So publicists who simply transmit their organization's view to the media are not likely to serve the public interest. So if you are a publicist, you are just transmitting information from the management to the you are not serving the interests of the people. So this gentleman says, public relation is not a one-way street in which leadership manipulates the public and public opinion. That's not here. Okay? He says this is a two-way street in which leadership and the public find integration with each other and in which objectives and goals are predicated on a coincidence of public and private interests. Mutually beneficial kind of relationship. So what this means is that PR people is not only, is not simply to communicate management views to the public? No. Okay? Because the task of PR also involves communicating the views of the public to management. So, as you are planning your activities as a PR officer, the objectives of the institution and its public relation program must be designed with the needs and desires of the public clearly in mind. So whatever you're doing, always have your public in mind. Okay? Parifusi. Zungumze. So, going one way, the PR person analyzes public opinion. Right? So, going one way, either organization or public, right? You are the PR here. So what we are saying is, going one way, the PR person analyzes public opinion and the needs of the community and opens channel of communication that allows such information to flow into the institution. It just you analyze the event, you go on the ground, get public opinion, so you are here. So all that information is your job to take that information to management, your organization. That's one way. That's why we're saying this is a two-way street. Okay? So once you get that information to the institution, using that information, you as a PR person advises management on the policies that are likely to be of mutual benefit, right, to your institution and the public. So your role, whatever the information is, then you advise management that this is the way to go, and this will benefit not only the institution but also the general public. Or at least it has to be acceptable, and rather it's not beneficial to the public, and not only the institution. Then, going the other way, this was going this way. Then, when you as a PR person goes the other way, right? The PR person opens channel of communication that reach out from the institution to the public. These channels are used to interpret the institution's policies, right? Because you are the ones who take that information to the general public. So you interpret the policies and actions of different audiences. So communication in that direction is largely the responsibility of the PR writer. And this course is training you guys to become PR writers. And it's not a small job, because you are dealing with many publics, and many publics require different types of writing to suit them, because you have to use different channels that also require different kinds of writing. Okay? If you want to use TV, for example, that is different from using a radio. It's different from using newspapers.
the social need. So it's not as easy as it is. You need to be skilled and you need to be an all-rounder. Okay? What for so? Believe. Okay. The next would have been the public channels and the role of the writer.
Public channels.
And the role of the writer. You can go through this. Not only the Google in a budget. Yeah, you can go through that so that we don't waste much of our time. So let's agree. We are not making this up. Okay. Okay, no problem with that.
Having another part so
Huh?
I'm having another part today. I won't make it.
Okay. No, that's okay. This will not stop me to issue exams and assignments.
I know.
Yeah, I know. And if people fail, they should not blame me.
There's not even your fault.
Because for me, I've got equally other important things to attend to. So if people are not available, I'm okay with that.
Where is the phone?
Yeah. But I was supposed to. Are you too late? Name because I need to sign. You need to sign. My best and you remind me if you last week without getting this. Just try to go over the form, just sign it and